All right. How was that lunch? Good? I have not dug into the dessert yet, so hopefully it's good. Thumbs up for the dessert people? Anybody? All right, I can see a couple thumbs up for the dessert people. Awesome. So it's my honor and privilege to introduce some of our, I'll say, Rotary royalty, if you will. Some of our VIPs that are here, our past district governors, our district governor lines from each of our 4 districts that participate in the multi-district PETS. So some of these you're going to clap for individually, and then others we're going to do in sections, or we'll be here all day. So I'd like to start off, first of all, with our immediate previous Rotary International President, Stephanie Yurchek. Since she reminds me all the time, I'm not dead yet. And sometimes says I passed anything, like they're still alive, so we're previous people. So, and also, you'll get a further introduction later, but Trustee of the Rotary Foundation and Rotary International Director-elect, Marty Helman. And she came with a special guest who joined her from our own district, from the Rotary Club of McLean, her sister, Nikki Birch. And now we're going to meet our district governors. So we're going to do this in okay, you can hoot and holler for district governors, but then we're going to do it in groups. So our sitting district governors who can stand, from District 7600, Pat Edwards, and her partner, Kim. Kim can stand and get a cheer too. I mean, you can get partner Kim, why not? These partners put up with a lot being district governor spouses, so they deserve that. From District 7610, Ravi Cooper. 7610ers, you got to be hooting and hollering a whole lot louder. Come on, guys. All right, from 7620, Mandy Granger. From District 7630, Dale Kearns. All right, now we're going to do these in groups, so hold your applause. We're going to get through them all together as we go. So from District 7600, our previous district governors, Jim Bynum, Susan, and you can stand up, though, and wave so that we know who you are, Susan Zakinski-Warthall, I'm sorry, I said it wrong, Z-Dub, previous district governor from 7600, Diane Hagman, Jim Probsdorfer, you can stand and wave if you're in the room, Debbie Wall, Kenny Janes, Rudy Garcia, and coming tonight is their immediate previous district governor, Joy Klein. Can we clap for our 7600s? From District 7610, previous district governor, Sandy Duckworth, Harry Henderson, Sheila Brennan, Chuck Davidson, and myself, Amelia Stanzel. Cheers for all of us. From 7620, Geetha Jairam, Jay Kumar, Claude Morissette, although he recently joined 7610, but we'll let him be on the 7620 list, but Claude Morissette, Sean McAllister, and Dolores Harding. And joining us tomorrow is immediate past district governor Nomi Hamid as well. And then from District 7630, previous district governors Hugh Dawkins, Roger Harrell, Jim Roney, and Cliff Berg. Give him an applause. We are so fortunate to have that many previous district governors come back and spend time to be able to pour back into all of you. That just goes to show just the commitment that they have for your future, for the future of your clubs and the future of your district. So thank you guys so much for coming back again. We also have some additional Rotary royalty from Zone 33, the Regional Rotary Foundation Chair, hailing from District 7770 in South Carolina, previous District Governor Bernie Rydell. Wherever Bernie is. Bernie is in the back there from Zone 33, Assistant Regional Rotary Foundation Chair and previous District Governor from District 7600, Stephen Beer. And as long as we're talking about foundation, we also have our major gift officer for the Rotary Foundation, member of Rotary District 7610, Lori Menzel. And our district governors-elect, starting off as District 7620, Don Whitfeld. We met Don earlier. District 7630, Ken Montville. 7610, Peter Anderson. Hooping and hollering, guys, hooping and hollering. And from District 7600, Sue Ann Bryant. Woo-hoo. We're almost through this, but we're not done yet because we do this all in lines, and we have succession that runs through our districts as they do through your clubs. So our district governor nominees, starting in District 7600, Bill Mullaville. 7610, Sherry Maya. 7630, Jazzy Johnson. And 7620, Rose Cardarelli. And our district governor nominee designees, which means that they're going to be up here in a couple of years as the district governor-elects. From District 7620, we have Dave Vogel. From 7610, Jamie Larunas. Woo-hoo. And last but not least, from District 7630, Mark Clark. Thank you all very much. We've gotten through all of those VIP introductions for today. Now, how many of you, because I know there's a bunch of you in here, have a car licensed in Virginia? Excellent. I like to see that, because I have a surprise for those of you from Virginia. Do you remember back in 2013 when this logo went away, which I would like to say in 2013, if this logo were a human, they would be in 8th grade. Just pointing out, so this is not the new logo and old logo, like this is the logo. So we have finally updated our license plates effective immediately to be able to have the new, new being 8th grade, logo that we can get in Virginia. And those of you that are in Maryland, DC, or Delaware, see me and I'll walk you through the politics of how to get it done. But the rest of you, run, not tomorrow, but Monday, to the DMV and order your new plates. So thank you all very much. It's been a process, and we're very excited to update our plates. So speaking of Virginians, it is my honor and privilege to introduce to you Ravi Cooper, my district governor-elect. Or district governor, not elect, district governor. It's all good.
Good afternoon. How is everybody doing? Welcome to CPETS 2026, you all. Thanks for being here. Cheers for that. Just thank you for coming and being a part of this training. So on behalf of Rotary District 7610, it is my great pleasure to welcome you to this year's President's-Elect Training Seminar. As the host district, we are truly honored to welcome our fellow Rotarians from all 4 participating districts who have come together this weekend to prepare for the year ahead. CPETS is one of the most important moments in the Rotary leadership journey. Over the next few days, you will learn, you will share ideas, you will build friendships, and you will strengthen the skills that will guide your clubs in the year to come. Most importantly, you will discover that you are not alone in this journey. You are part of a powerful network of leaders committed to service above self. Look around, and I challenge you today, if you've come with somebody that you don't know or you have people at your table you don't know, please, exchange a business card or a phone number and get to know other Rotarians. It is the most important thing you can do, is to grow your network of friends and fellowship in Rotary. So this gathering reflects the best of Rotary: collaboration across districts, shared learning, and the opportunity, as I said, to grow together. I want to thank the incredible volunteers, trainers, and district teams who worked so hard to make this event possible. This starts basically the day after, literally tomorrow, so you'll leave at like 2:30, and we immediately go upstairs and we start planning for next year, so it's quite the effort. And so want to recognize the team that put this together, the president-elects who've stepped forward to lead your clubs of energy, vision, and dedication and spend the weekend with us. And I especially want to thank Amelia Stansel, 7610's immediate past district governor, who stepped forward to serve as the general chair of CPETS this year. Amelia graciously stepped in after serving as interim and has done an incredible job bringing this event together this year. Amelia, your leadership, organization, and commitment to developing leaders across the district have made this weekend possible, and we appreciate you for your extraordinary work. Cheers for Amelia. I'd also like to take this moment to honor someone whose presence is deeply felt here today. Dr. Deborah Jackson stood ready to lead CPETS as the general chair this year, but has left us too soon after a courageous battle with cancer. Deb joined the Rotary Club of McLean in 2008 and quickly became one of those Rotarians whose energy and dedication inspired everybody around her. She served in many roles over the years, including being a president, membership chair, assistant governor. She also did the Rotary Times and was recognized as Area 10 Rotarian of the Year. But Deb's service extended far beyond Rotary. In her professional life, she was a school principal, educator, and administrator in the Fairfax County Schools, and later an adjunct professor at University of Virginia. She served on numerous boards, dedicated to education and leadership, and spent her career advocating for equitable education and opportunity for all students. And as we know, literacy is part of one of our 7 areas of focus, and she really believed in literacy. Deb truly embodied the Rotary motto, service above self, and the impact she made in Rotary and in education continues through the many lives that she touched. So I will close with a powerful quote from a speech by Maya Angelou, one of my favorites, that speaks to her leadership. People will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Dr. Deb Jackson made people feel seen, encouraged, and inspired to serve. President-elects, as you begin your journey toward leading your clubs, may you remember that the greatest impact you can create in Rotary is not through the projects that you will lead, but through the people that you will lift up around you. I want to thank each of you for being here, and thank you for your leadership, and thank you for all you do to strengthen Rotary. Please enjoy your lunch, and welcome to CPETS 2026.
Hello again. I'm going to introduce our keynote speaker. Marty P. Helman is a member of the Rotary Club of Booth Bay Harbor in Maine and currently serves as a trustee of the Rotary Foundation. Marty is also a director-elect for Zones 28 and 32. She joined Rotary in 2003 and later served as governor of Rotary District 7780 in 2012 to 13. A passionate advocate for service and peace, Marty has held numerous Rotary leadership roles and has been a strong champion of the Rotary Peace Centers, helping expand support for Rotary Peace Fellows around the world. Professionally, she worked as a writer and editor for Business Leaders and later served as president of the Otto and Fran Walter Foundation. An Arch Clump Society member and dedicated supporter of Rotary's mission, Marty continues to champion Rotary's work to create lasting change and build peace around the globe. Marty also asked me to share with you that she got her start here at Chesapeake Pets, I believe 20 years ago? Not this Pets. Okay, I gotcha. Well, this is definitely a path that would be possible for any of you. But please join me in welcoming Marty P. Helman to the stage.
This is my first time at Chesapeake Pets. What I meant to have Dawn tell you is that my pets, when I was president-elect, was 20 years ago this month in Massachusetts at Northeast Pets. So 20 years ago, I was sitting not in these seats, but in the same seats in Massachusetts. And I'll talk more about that in a minute. I want to tell you that tonight at dinner, you're going to hear from immediate past President Stephanie, and you're in for a real treat, so enjoy that. And if you run into her in the hallways between now and then, ask her why she chose the magic of Rotary as the theme her presidential year. And Amelia has already introduced my sister Nikki, who is a member of the McLean Club, and mentioned that a member of the McLean Club is not here, and that's Deb. That's Deb Jackson. I met Deb at a Pets Alliance meeting in Evanston, Illinois, a number of years ago, and she was one of those Rotarians that when you meet your not best friends, but your close, good friends, almost from the get-go. I was immediately touched by her leadership, her compassion, and I was so delighted when my sister, very soon thereafter, ended up joining Deb's club, and I knew she was going to be in good hands. And I miss Deb terribly. We all do. And I am absolutely delighted that her club is starting a fund in her name, which will go to a local elementary school. I should also say that Deb, in her professional life, was a teacher and a school administrator. And if my niece, Deb, who went to McLean High School, is any indication, she was as beloved by her students as she is by her fellow Rotarians. It's great to be here. And let me tell you that of all the places I'm invited to speak, I most enjoy speaking to multi-district PELs, because this is where the action is. Believe me, your plenary speakers here today will agree with me that the future of our organization lies with you and all the other presidents-elect around the world. Our clubs are where the work of Rotary takes place, or alternately does not take place. Our clubs are where we can make a sustainable difference, or alternately fail to act. That's why Stephanie made the trip to join you this weekend. That's why the PELS committee has worked so hard and put in such long hours. It's because the promise of Rotary for the next 18 months or so is really in your hands. No pressure. Now, I'd like to extend a special welcome to the encore presidents in this room. How many of you have been president of your club once or maybe more times before? Thank you for your leadership. And I have a special assignment for you in the breakouts this weekend. Think about what you know now that you wish you knew then. And if you haven't done so, be sure to share your thoughts and wisdom. But do so kindly and politely for the rest of us. Whatever your experience, whatever your background, presidents-elect, know that I envy you, because during these next 18 months, you have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to create lasting change in your home community. Oh, sure, you can run the meetings each week and chair the board meetings and generally follow the rule book that's been set out by your predecessors. If you do that well, people will say your presidency was successful. But may I suggest a higher bar? You can look around you, you can do what Rotary calls a community assessment, you can pinpoint something that's needed in your community, and you can use Rotary's tools and clout and your club members to make lasting change. And in so doing, by the way, you will set the stage to really, really entice community members to want to become part of your club. Now, in the run-up to my club presidency 20 years ago, I was pretty proud of my club's history and successes. But I also thought we consistently missed one opportunity, and that was in supporting our local veterans. Now, this is personal to me. My father, our father, was a career Coast Guard officer. His first duty assignment took him to the Mediterranean in 1944. My husband served in Air Force intelligence and was stationed in Berlin at the height of the Cold War. And as for me, I grew up at a time when we Americans blamed the warrior for the war. I thought it was about time that the Boothbay Harbor Rotary Club reached out in a meaningful way to our local veterans. Quite honestly, my board was not supportive. For that and other reasons, the birthing was more difficult than it should have been. It almost didn't happen. But that year, we started Veterans Appreciation Night. Nothing fancy. We invited local vets, actives, Gold Star widows to dinner and to thank them for their service and sacrifice. If you were a Rotarian and a vet, your money was no good that night. You were part of who we were celebrating. Now, that evening, from a very rocky start, grew not only to become a significant part of our club calendar, but has really made the club what it is. It's also become a very, very important part of the community calendar as well. And you know why? Because every year, when we try to thank our veterans for their service, for putting their lives on the line, they turn the table on us and they thank us for inviting them for dinner, for inviting them to a Rotary hockey puck chicken dinner, which only proves that sometimes the person in need, the person we serve, is not a little child on the other side of the globe. Sometimes it's a neighbor we know from church or the grocery store or the car repair who needs Rotary to remind them that their long ago sacrifices have not been forgotten. So think about what your community needs that Rotary can deliver. Excite your club. Be the change maker that makes it happen. Now, my job today is to speak about the Rotary Foundation and how you as club presidents can use the foundation and the action plan to strengthen and grow your club. And I know what you're thinking. I know because, remember, I was sitting in your seats 20 years ago, my own multi-district PELs. I was supposed to be listening to the speakers from big-name Rotarians, but all I could think was, what am I going to do about the guys sitting at the curmudgeon table in the back of the room every week? So believe me, I get it. It's all too easy to listen to the high-level talk and to think, that's all well and good, but first I need to figure out how to get the volunteers to show up on Saturday morning, or how to meet the minimums required by the caterer. It's all too easy to think that the speaker is from some different Rotary universe, one that your club can never dream of reaching. Well, if these are your insecurities, you need to understand two things. First, you are not alone. I'm not going to ask for a show of hands, but believe me, that viewpoint is probably shared by a majority of the presidents-elect in this room. And second, Rotary has a solution. It's called the Action Plan, and it was written for you. The Action Plan was written and designed to strengthen your club, not some perfect club out in Rotary sphere, your club. In fact, the Action Plan is the only way I know of to sustainably strengthen your club. So let's look at the specifics of the action plan. The first part is increase our impact. At the club level, increasing impact really means focusing on our programs and offerings. Now, many clubs find that when they have a signature project, let's say to mitigate food insecurity in their community, then that's what they become known for. And it really helps not only to get the work done, but also to be better known in the community for what it is they are doing. Particularly if you're a small club, my advice is to hold a club assembly and identify one passion that really excites club members and fulfills a real need in your community. I mentioned food insecurity. What about supplying winter fuel to our neighbors? Transportation for our elders? Combating online and school bullying. The list goes on and on. And here's where the Rotary Foundation comes in. Now, I don't know how district grants work in your district because, light bulb, they're district grants and they're managed separately by each district. But I do know that district grants are designed to provide seed money for community projects, whether that community is in your backyard or on the other side of the world. So take advantage of your grants management seminar. If you're unclear on the specifics, speak to your assistant governor or a member of your district's foundation committee. DDF money exists because your club members donated to the Rotary Foundation. So make sure to spend the money that your members donated. That is the magic of the Rotary Foundation. Another way to increase impact is to stop doing something that is no longer viable. President-elect Yinka often says, if you find yourself planning to do something because it's always been done, ask yourself, will doing this project move the needle? If the answer is no, don't do it. I often talk to club leaders who have inherited a club fundraiser that's no longer making the money it once did. Maybe club members hate the work involved. Maybe it's a golf tournament that speaks to the idea that Rotary is more attractive to older white men than it is to younger, more diverse members. If you're in this situation, then remember President-elect Yinka's advice, and maybe, just maybe, have the courage to sunset that activity. The next part of our strategic plan is to expand our reach. You know, it's a truism that the people who enjoy the culture and the timing of your club meetings will never want to change that club's personality or your meeting time and place. The problem is when the culture and the meeting space are not a draw for new members. And let's face it, no club, no matter how irresistible, can attract everyone. Teachers can't come in the mornings. Business leaders don't want to step away for lunch in the middle of the workday. You know this as well as I do. E-clubs provide a partial answer, but only partial. Fellowship via Zoom, we have found, only goes so far. There's no one-size-fits-all answer to growing Rotary, but the obvious course is to offer more than one Rotary experience in any given community. And that's why the directors in North America have come together to promote the idea of companion clubs. A companion club provides a Rotary opportunity with a different club culture, meeting at a different time of day, at a different location, developing a separate culture, a separate personality, yet thriving under the auspices of its parent club. And let's put a few urban legends to rest. Starting a new club in your town will not cannibalize existing clubs. Rotary has data that show that when a second or third club is started in the same community, 80% of the new members are new to Rotary. 80%. Yes, that means that 20% slide over from the existing club, but believe me, if they were willing to consider a new club, then they're most likely headed out the door anyway. Because remember, here's a sobering statistic. Half the people who join our organization leave in the first 2 years. Half. Any business owners and managers here? If you had half of your customers coming in the front door and leaving out the back door, wouldn't you do something to shut that back door? Providing members with a different club experience is a way to keep them in Rotary. In fact, Rotary has data that show that the more clubs there are in a community, each with a slightly different value proposition, the more every club in that community is likely to attract new members and become more vibrant. In other words, new clubs do not cannibalize, just the opposite. They strengthen older clubs in the same community. And then we come to enhance participant engagement. People stay with Rotary because we get more out of it than we put in. For me, for many of us, it's the emotional return we get from making dreams real, plus the people we meet along the way. It's the charge that comes from doing something larger than ourselves, or helping to eliminate a disease, or helping to build peace. But that's probably not the reason we joined. Data show that we more likely joined for leadership development or skills training, or the opportunity for personal and professional connections, or the reason my husband and I joined, to meet people. You know what we don't do? We don't join Rotary to go to meetings. Between our work responsibilities, our religious affiliations, our kids' activities, our other volunteer commitments, most of us are meetinged out. So an invitation to a potential member to come to a Rotary meeting next Tuesday at lunch is probably not received as the positive that we were hoping to deliver. Now, 2 points here. First, this is why I always push back against the Rotary mantra that calls for inviting potential new members to a club meeting or a special potential members event. My advice, don't. Instead, invite potential members to a service project or a fundraiser. Invite them to something where members are doing Rotary, not talking about doing Rotary. Flipping hamburgers at the high school football game with fellow Rotarians is a heck of a better introduction to your club than sitting through a member with a random speaker who may or may not be speaking about something specific to Rotary. And by the way, if you tell me you don't have a Rotary event planned in the next month or 6 weeks or so to invite them to, well, that's a problem you need seriously to deal with. Now, my club holds a fundraiser every Saturday morning, 9 months a year. It turns out that the Rotary Barn, as we call it, is our best membership attraction tool. People wander in on a Saturday morning looking for a deal, something to buy. They note that the Rotarians, all wearing our t-shirts and all working that shift, all seem to be having fun, cracking jokes. And they inevitably ask, a few do, if they can volunteer with us. Sure, we say, we give them a t-shirt and invite them to come back the following Saturday. By the time they actually come to a Rotary meeting, they feel good about having already raised money and knowing where that money is going to in the community. They understand the expectations of club membership. They are up to date on club personalities. They're good friends with the hardest workers in the club, and they quickly become our strongest members. My second point about meetings is that since we have to have them, let's be sure to make them special, even irresistible. Now, how do you know if you've accomplished that? Ask. And I'm guessing, because again, Rotary has data on this point, I'm guessing that what pushes your most dedicated members to show up each week isn't the program or even the speaker. It's the opportunity to hang out with fellow club members. Rotary calls this fellowship. I call it enjoyable, relaxing, and an increasingly important way for me to connect with my good friends every single week. Now, one of my club's standing committees is the Fun Committee. Every 6 weeks or so, the Fun Committee takes responsible for the meeting. Sometimes the Fun Committee puts on a holiday-themed event. Most recently, we had a Mardi Gras night, complete with masks, a king cake mail-ordered in from New Orleans, jambalaya personally chefed from a family recipe of one of the members, and an awful lot of beads. No speaker. There's no Rotary police that says you have to have a speaker every week. No formal program, just a gold, purple, green party, and a lot of beads. So never forget the fifth rule of the four-way test, you know, the one we said before lunch, the one that asks if it's fun. And think about how your club is providing just that. Now, the fourth part of our plan is to increase our ability to adapt. You know, some of us have been Rotary so long that we remember when the Rotary police were a force to be reckoned with. Makeups, songs, classifications were taken seriously enough to be used to exclude good members. The ever-popular Rule of 85. Anyone remember that? The list goes on and on. Well, let me bring you up to date. Yes, if any of those traditions speak to your club, you are certainly free to continue them. But that's what they are, traditions and completely voluntary. Your district doesn't care, and trust me, Rotary International doesn't care, and nobody is asking the secretary for attendance lists. The world has changed, Rotary's expectations have changed, and thankfully, so has Rotary. That said, we may not have changed quickly enough, and we're an organization made up of volunteers, and our time and our energy is limited. Yes, we absolutely need to take a hard look, at club traditions that get in the way of innovation and risk-taking. But we do so at our peril if we streamline to the point that we abandon our committee structure, or think that we can get away with one-person committees. Because when it comes to volunteers and action, it's our committees that are needed, that are necessary to get things done. I've been obsessed with this lately because for all the talk about the need to grow clubs, I find too many clubs and too many districts, I am sorry to say, with one-person membership committees, or committees that exist on paper but haven't actually done anything in far too long, or committees that don't know what it is they're supposed to be doing. So yes, innovate. Get rid of the stuff that's getting in the way. Don't wait for Evanston. Don't wait for permission. Just do it. All you need to know, as far as Evanston is concerned, is that assuming you're following the four-way test, the five-way test, it's all good. But assuming you want your club to grow, don't forget that it's the committee structure that keeps the engines moving. In a nutshell, that's our action plan. And remember also our mission statement. Together, we see a world where people unite and take action to create lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and within ourselves. Or the short version, together, people create change. Change requires action. Action, not just good intentions. So Presidents-elect, here's my homework assignment for each of you. Before you leave today, write down 3 action items that have come out of this weekend. And between now and July 1st, work to make them real. In Rotary, we too often evaluate an event such as this on how large the turnout is, how engaging the speakers, how tasty the lunch. All fine, but all ephemeral if we don't ensure that we incorporate what we learn back into our clubs. You've chosen Rotary this weekend over family and other delights. Now make sure you make the time worthwhile. Come up with those action items and then follow through and get them done. Make this event, make this weekend a watershed in your Rotary experience and the life of your club. God bless you for what you are doing and what you will accomplish through Rotary in the coming year. And thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much, Marty. We have a certificate of appreciation here for you, and we would also like to let you know that we're making a donation directly to the Peace Committee. Okay? Thank you.
All right. Marty, Dawn, thank you very much. That was very nice. Thank you. I have a couple things to cover. Maybe a little bit of history. See all these banners back there? Aren't they beautiful? Well, those are from past district governors who donate them to decorate this hall. It's not like Hogwarts or anything, but it's very nice. I'd like to say also that Roger Harrell, Claude Morissette, Jim Bynum, and John Allen all came together to create Chesapeake Pets. They were like the founding fathers, and I want to honor them. Okay, now back to business. You all have badges on you, just like this one here, and you have these little notepads, little programs. Right after this, you have to be in classes. So to help you get there, I'm going to help you do this. There's numbers and letters on your card, on your tag. Please read the number, and then that's today. Tomorrow will be letters. Please read that number, and that'll tell you where you need to go. Come across. If you have a number 3, you'll be going to Jefferson 3. That'll be where you're going. Okay. Polio Plus. Right now, we're up to like $1,000. Our goal is $5,000. $5,500. So please say David and Debbie, and they will help you out, and they will help us make that goal. It could be $2,500 in your pocket when you leave and make this trip worth it. Passport boxes. As you've seen our vendors upstairs, please visit our vendors upstairs and downstairs and get your passport checked off and put them in your passport boxes in your district rooms. They just showed up magically. Lost and found. If anybody loses anything, please bring it to a sergeant at arms. And if somebody finds something, please give it to a sergeant. So I guess that's about it. You all will be dismissed. Enjoy your day.